Hello and welcome to the On the Turning Away guitar solo instructional video. I hope you enjoyed the demonstration I played for you on the previous video. I'm sure you liked it, and that's probably why you're watching this video, where I can show you exactly how to perform that guitar solo. The version that I used was taken from a live performance with a few added improvisations of my own, as it makes it a bit more interesting to play, and so I'll show you how to play that exactly on this video. So I hope you enjoy it, and without further ado, let's get started. Right, okay, let's get started with this guitar solo. On the Turning Away, I worked it out to be in the key of E minor pentatonic, which goes like this. Based around that scale. It's a very long guitar solo, by the way, and I shall break it up into sections, cover each section. So let's get started. Okay then, so first of all, you'll be strumming the G chord, like so. And then it goes. So from the third fret on the E string, down one fret, but you don't have to do that, really, just strum the G chord, and then you come immediately to the 15th fret on the B string. So what you do, you perform a full bend on that, on the 15th fret, on the B string. Hold that bend and perform some vibrato, either using your hand, your wrist, or the actual whammy bar. And then you release that bend, pull off onto the 12th fret, hammer back onto the 15th fret, and then you play the 12th fret on the highest E string, and then back onto the 15th fret on the previous string, B string. On the 2nd fret, you'll be playing. That's all you'll be doing. It's quite simple, really. So for that, I'm playing the 2nd fret on the G string. Then I'm playing the open G string, hammering on, and then hammering onto the 2nd fret, performing a bend and release, which is like a half bend, really. So bend and release, and then immediately play the D string, same fret. So there's some vibrato there. Then I'll be coming back up to here again, and I'll be going. Right, so what I'm doing is I'm playing the G string on the 12th fret. Sorry, not playing that. I'm playing the B string on the 12th fret, hammering onto the 15th fret. Hold the bend again and maybe some vibrato. And then I'll be playing the G string, 12th fret, and then again, and then I'll be performing another bend again on exactly the same string as before. And then I'll be releasing that bend, pull off onto the 12th fret, and hammering back onto the 15th fret. With some added vibrato, so. And then, like before, I've been moving down to the lower part of the fretboard, 2nd fret. And this is a bit difficult. You're going to be performing what's called a pinch harmonic. So it might be best if you move your trigger switch to the lower pickup to get a more of a high pitched sound. So, for example. So I'm doing, I'm actually raking the strings, mute rake. So for that, I'm actually using to actually perform the pinch harmonic. I'm holding the plectrum sort of high up in my fingers like that, and using part of the flesh of my finger, my thumb, to create interplay to create that sound. So what I do is I rake the strings, do a palm mute to rake the strings. It might take a bit of practice before you can nail this one down. And then what I do is I play the 2nd fret on that same string, and pull off, play the D string, and then followed by the open string, and then hammer back onto that 2nd fret, some vibrato sound. And then what I do after that is I play that same frets again, and then I play the open G string, perform a full bend, perform a half bend, sorry, a full bend, and then I with this small finger here, I perform that bend, and then play the B string, 3rd fret, and then I play, and then whilst keeping that bend on the G string intact, I then play that G string again, whilst releasing the bend. So, and then I then pull off that string, and then immediately play the D string again. So let's go through that whole bit again. Here you go. Right, here is to section 2. Okay, so here, what I'm I'm doing is back around the high part of the fretboard again, as this is where mezzo solo will be done. So what I'm doing is I'm playing the B strings, 12th fret, hammering onto the 15th fret, and I'm bending up, so exactly the same bend as we've done at the start of the solo. And then as I'm releasing that bend, I'm then nick up with my finger on the G string on the 12th fret, and I'm performing that same bend again. So bend and release, play that string, and then I'm releasing, before I pull off onto the 12th fret, and I'm ending on the G string on the same fret. So with some vibrato again. Okay, next I'll be sliding down on the A string down to the 2nd fret, and I'll be playing this part. Right, here is to section 2. So basically I'm first of all playing the open A string, and hammering onto the 2nd fret, and playing the open D string, and hammering it on the 2nd fret A string again. Okay, so here what I'm doing is playing the back around the high part of the fretboard again, as this is where mezzo solo will be done. Finishing on the so what I'm doing is open E strings. I'm playing the B strings, 12th fret, hammering onto the 15th fret. Then after that I'll be moving up here, and I'm bending up to the so 9th fret, and I'll be playing exactly the same bend as we've done at the start of the solo. Sorry. So you watch my strumming hand. And as I'm releasing that bend, I'm then nick up with my finger on the G string on the 12th fret. I'm holding down the D and G strings, and I'm performing that same bend again. Strumming those two notes. So I'm playing the bend and release. Play that string. The G string, sorry. And I'm doing 2 more. And then I'm releasing, pull off the G and D strings again. Onto the 12th fret, and I'm ending on the G string on the same fret. So and then I'm playing this bit with some vibrato again. So what I'm doing, I'm playing the open E string, then hammering on the G note, which is on the 3rd fret, and I'm playing the open A string, followed by hammering on the 2nd fret, and then I'm playing the open D string twice. And then finishing on the 3rd fret on the G note there, on the E string. So okay, after that we'll be moving down to the 12th fret area of the fretboard again for the next part. We'll be playing which is, this bit is actually almost identical to the previous. So we'd be playing the B string, 12th fret, hammering onto the 15th, bend, full bend and release, and then play that 15th fret again after the bend. Then we'll be playing the G string 12th fret, and you'll be doing another bend again, same as before, and you'll be pulling off to the 12th, ending on the G string again, the 12th fret, and then we'll be playing this next bit. So basically you'll be playing the 12th fret B string, perform a full bend on the highest D string, 15th fret. Hold that bend for a short while, release that onto the 15th fret, and then you'll be playing the 14th fret, hammering onto the 15th and pulling off to the 14th again. And then you end on the 15th fret on the B string, and then you perform a full bend, hold that bend, and then with your small finger you then play the 15th fret on the E string. After that we'll be moving down to the 12th fret area of the fretboard again for the next part. Before you release it, you play that string, and then you sound the releasing bend, and then you pull off into the 12, which is this bit is actually almost identical to the previous. So you'd be playing the B string, 12th fret, hammering onto the 15th, bend, full bend and release, and then play that 15th fret again after the bend. And you'd be playing the G string 12th fret, 15th fret, and you'd be doing another bend again, same as before. And then you release that bend again. You'd be pulling up to the 12th, release onto the 12th, ending on the G string again, the 12th fret. And then you hammer back and then you'd be playing this next bit, and you release back to the 12th, play that twice. And then what you do, you're on the G string, you perform. So basically you'll be playing the 12th fret B string, perform a full bend on the highest D string, 15th fret, on the 14th fret. Hold that bend for a short while. Release that onto the 12th, onto the 15th, and then you fret on the D string. And then you'll be playing the 14th fret. 14th fret, hammering onto the 15th and pulling off to the 14th again, and then you end on the 15th fret on the B string, and then you perform a full bend. And then finish up with some vibrato. Hold that bend, and then with your small finger you then play the 15th fret. Soon after that we're going to go straight down to the 2nd fret and perform this sort of thing. And then you then, going back to the bend on the B string, you then, before you release it, you play that string. Doing a tight bend on the 2nd fret. And then you sound the releasing G bend. String here. And then you pull off into the 12th. I'm doing this sort of technique here. Hammer back onto the 15th. That sort of bend. And then you play the 12th fret on the E string. And then sort of slowly releasing it and adding the tension. Sort of like a tremolo effect, but you can be obviously using your wrist to do that. Then you perform a full bend again on the B string, 15th fret. So if you're holding the bend and using some tremolo, and then you release that bend again. That's the best way to explain it. Release onto the 12. Or you could be using the tremolo arm to do it. And you hammer back onto the 15th. And you release back to the 12th, play that twice. A bit of harshness on your fingers, to be honest. And then what you do, you're on the G string, you perform G and the D string, you play. Releasing that. Simple as that. Play the open G string. Perform a full bend bend release on the
and hammer back
14th
on the
fret.
second, and then use it, do another bend, but using
Release onto the pull off onto the 12th, and then you bend on the D string.
And then with my small finger,
14th
hitting the 3rd fret on the D string,
so
whilst holding that bend, and then a bit releasing that bend again, but playing that string, playing that note on the 2nd fret.
And then you finish up with some vibrato.
And then play the open G string twice. So. And it could be using some, finish up with some vibrato with the tremolo on. Right, okay, in this 3rd section we're going to be sliding down here, and on this part I'm playing, we're going to cover the bit that we've already covered before, but with a slight variation. This is the bit. So basically, I'm sure I'm sure this looks familiar to you. The only difference is that's the only change in that part there. So I'll just do it slowly for you. I won't explain how to do it because I've already covered it. So I'm sure you should be all right with that. Just going to play it slowly. So I'm sliding up the 5th fret on the A string, followed by playing the open E string. Right, moving up this part of the fretboard now. I'm going to be using a series of pull-offs. I'll play it for you. So basically, we're going to be DR pull-offs, as we say. So pull off on the borrowing, using the 1st finger, borrowing the top 2 strings, B and E. Pull off from starting on the 15th, then a pull off on the 14th fret. Then onto the B string, pull off on the 15th. So then, followed by that, back onto the E string, pull off on the 14th and the 15th, and on the 14th again. So after the pull off on the 14th fret, we're going to be performing a full bend on the 15th fret. Use some vibrato, release the bend, and then we're going to be performing this bit, playing this bit. So pull off from the 15th to the 14th, hammer onto the 15th, pull off again onto the 14th, play the 15th fret on the B string, and then play the 14th on the G string. Then you play again the 15th fret on the B string, and then out this part playing the G string. Now you're going to be doing playing the 14th fret, pull off onto the 12th, back onto the and up on the D string. Some vibrato. Then you're going to be doing So bend and release, and then on the D string, then using vibrato, pinched harmonic on the 12th fret on the G string, using the pinch harmonic as described earlier. And then you'll be sliding after that bit. You're going to be sliding up the 14th, and then you're going to be playing the 12th fret on the B string, hammering onto the 15th, perform a full bend, sliding up from the 15th to the 17th, and you'll be playing the 15th fret on the E string, and you're going to be hammering on to the 17th on the E string, releasing back onto the 15th, and then you're going to be doing a double bend, and then releasing onto the 15th. So sometimes when I bend a string, just to play it safe, I do a string rake when palm muting the strings I don't want to play, and obviously playing the string that I do want to play, like that. But now we're heading towards the most difficult, challenging part of the solo, and also the most interesting, which is in two parts. I'll play the first part for you. I'm playing that twice. I'll call these open string pull-offs, where I'm actually pulling off the string and using the flesh of my finger to sound the open string sound, to give it as much effect and sound as possible. So for example, I'm starting on the 10th fret on the B string. So I'm pulling off the string without trying to sound the string above it, which is the E string here. It's quite difficult, takes a bit of practice, and if you sound the other strings, it doesn't sound too bad, but try not to do it. So like I said, I'm going on the 10th fret, then I'm heading next to the 8th fret, then I'm descending down the strings. So then I'm going to the D string, the G string, the 9th fret, followed by the D string on the same fret. Then next I'm going to the G string, the 7th fret, followed by the 9th fret. Then going up the strings now, and then I'm going to the B string, 8th fret, followed by the 10th fret, and then you do that all over again once more time. So 10 on the B string, 8 on the same string, then I'm going to the G string on the 9th fret, then we're going to the D string on the 9th fret, then we're going to the 7th fret G string, 9th fret, 8th fret on the B string, 10th fret on the same string again. Okay, so after that it's probably the hardest part, which goes like this. what I'm doing here is I'm actually using bends on the 10th fret. So hold that bend, and then immediately I'm tapping onto the 15th fret on the higher C string. So you tap on with this with your finger here, and you're not actually making use of the plectrum on this part because you're using finger taps. So, and then when you're tapping on there, try and make it not sound on top of the sound of the bend. So, for example, don't want that. You don't want that sound. You want to mute the bend with your picking hand. This will take a bit of practice actually to get used to, because it's actually harder than you think. So I did it a bit there, which is incorrect. That's right. And then what you do, you would then play the bend back down and release the bend, but you're gonna have to do it here because you haven't got time to sort of come back down here, go up here. So you can if you want, but it's very difficult for timing reasons. And you can play the string anywhere here really. It sounds the same whether you play there or there or even here. So and then you play it back down and you release this. You will release this note here. And you do that twice. So. And then what you do, you then do a bend and release on the 10th, where your fingers are here, ending on the 8th. And then you finish with the 9th fret on the G string. Then what you do, you then immediately slide up the 9th fret, and then you play the B string, 8th fret. And you hand onto the 10th fret, and then you come back onto here again onto the 9th fret G string. Now you're going to slide up the 9th fret to finish this one off. 9th fret, and then you hit the 8th fret on the B string, hammer onto the 10th. To complete the final of the 3 bend and taps. If you see my finger over here hitting this, it's just the most comfortable way that I do it. I'm not really. You don't have to do that. That's just me basically, because this won't be sounded when this finger touches here. It will sound because I'm hitting this, tapping the 15th fret. So that will cover anything that happens below the string from the 15th fret. So when I'm I'm completing the 3rd there, and then after that, just bear in mind actually when you're doing this, make sure that the sleeves aren't hanging left dangling, because it will come in contact with the strings and mute the strings, and then it will start to sound awful. So try and roll up your sleeves. So after that, you're going to do a bend and release. And maybe sounding the 10th, remember you're holding this bend, which is a 4th bend. Small finger is going to be touching the 10th fret on the E string. So, and then release that, and release your finger off the E string, and then release the bend also. And then you're going to do a bend and release on the 5th bend. released into the 8th fret. So, see. And that's it. Then this next section, we'll be doing so basically this next bit is just a rundown on the scale. It's just keeping rhythm. The hardest part about it is keeping rhythm. It's not so much about the notes you're playing, but keep the same tempo and rhythm as the backing track. It doesn't really matter what notes you play. Sorry, well, the notes in the scale, but what note, it doesn't really matter. It's just a rundown of the scale. So what I'm doing is I'm sliding from the 7th to the 9th. So sliding up to the 9th, hitting the 7th, sliding up on the 9th on the G string, then I'm playing the 9th fret on the D string, sliding down onto the 7th, playing the 5th, and I'm playing the 7th on the A string, then I'm playing the 5th fret. So then I'm hammering back onto the 7th and going. So playing the 5th, 7th, and then onto the D string, and ending on the 7th fret on the A string. And then what I'm doing here is I'm playing the open E string, then I'm using the whammy bar to pressing down and then releasing it. So, and what I'm doing, I'm sliding up. I'm just trying to go on the 7th. So I'm sliding up to the 7th, hit the A string, the 7th fret, then playing the D string, same fret, and playing the 9th on the A string. Then we're giving 2 strings higher now to the G string, and pull off from the 9th fret to the 7th, and ending up on the D string on the 9th fret, and I'm playing the 7th fret, the G string, hammering onto the 9th fret with some vibrato. Then I am playing the 7th fret on the D string, and I'm rolling my finger up onto the G string. Now there's 2 ways you can do this. You can either bend or slide, which you want to make, which you want to sound the 11th fret. So, or pull off to the 9th. And then eventually you want to land on the 12th fret. So with some vibrato as always there. So that's that. The next part you're going to be moving down here. This part of this familiar part again. I'm playing exactly the same bit. This bit is almost the same. So I'll be sliding down. So as we covered before. Then this next section, I'll be doing basically this next bit is just a rundown on the scale. It's just keeping rhythm. The hardest part about it is keeping rhythm. It's not so much about the notes you're playing, but keep the same tempo and rhythm as the backing track. It doesn't really matter what notes you play. Sorry, well, the notes in the scale, but what note, it doesn't really matter. It's just a rundown of the scale. So what I'm doing is I'm sliding from the 7th to the 9th. So sliding up to the 9th, hitting the 7th, sliding up on the 9th on the G string. Then I'm playing the 9th fret on the D string, sliding down onto the 7th, playing the 5th, and I'm playing the 7th on the A string, and I'm playing the 5th fret. So then I'm hammering back onto the 7th, and I'm going. So playing the 5th, 7th, and then onto the D string, and ending on the 7th fret on the A string. And then what I'm doing here is I'm playing the open E string, and I'm using the whammy bar to pressing down and then releasing it. So, and what I'm doing, I'm sliding up. I'm just sliding up on the 7th. So I'm sliding up to the 7th, hit the A string, the 7th fret, then playing the D string, same fret, and playing the 9th on the A string. Then we're going 2 strings higher now to the G string, and pull off from the 9th fret to the 7th, and ending up on the D string on the 9th fret, and I'm playing the 7th fret, the G string, hammering onto the 9th fret with some vibrato. Then I am playing the 7th fret on the D string, and I'm rolling my finger up onto the G string. Now there's two ways you can do this. You can either bend or slide, which you want to make, which you want to sound the 11th fret. So, or pull off to the 9th. And then eventually you want to land on the 12th fret. So. With some vibrato as always there. So. That's that. The next part, you're going to be moving down here. This part of this familiar part again. I'm playing exactly the same bit. This bit is almost the same. So be sliding down. So as we covered before. Then this next section, we'll be doing basically this next bit is just a rundown on the scale. It's just keeping rhythm. The hardest part about it is keeping rhythm. It's not so much about the notes you're playing, but keep the same tempo and rhythm as the backing track. It doesn't really matter what notes you play. Sorry, well, the notes in the scale, but what notes, it doesn't really matter. It's just a rundown of the scale. So what I'm doing is I'm sliding from the 7th to the 9th. So sliding up to the 9th, hitting the 7th, sliding up on the 9th on the G string. Then I'm playing the 9th fret on the D string, sliding down onto the 7th, playing the 5th, and I'm playing the 7th on the A string, then I'm playing the 5th fret. So then I'm hammering back onto the 7th, and I'm going. So playing the 5th, 7th, and then onto the D string, and ending on the 7th fret on the A string. And then what I'm doing here is I'm playing the open E string, and I'm using the whammy bar to pressing down and then releasing it. So, and when I'm doing a sliding up, I'm just trying to go on the 7th. So I'm sliding up to the 7th, hitting the A string, the 7th fret, then playing the D string, same fret, and playing the 9th on the A string. Then we're going 2 strings higher now to the G string. And, pull off from the 9th fret to the 7th, and ending up on the D string on the 9th fret, and I'm playing the 7th fret, the G string, hammering onto the 9th fret with some vibrato. Then I am playing the 7th fret on the D string, and I'm rolling my finger up onto the G string. Now there's 2 ways you can do this. You can either bend or slide, which you want to make, which you want to sound the 11th fret. So, or pull off to the 9th. And then eventually you want to land on the 12th fret. So. With some vibrato as always there. So. That's that. The next part, you're going to be moving down here. This part of this familiar part again. I'm playing exactly the same bit. This bit is almost the same. So we're sliding down. So as we covered before. Then this next section, we'll be doing basically this next bit is just a rundown on the scale. It's just keeping rhythm. The hardest part about it is keeping rhythm. It's not so much about the notes you're playing, but keep the same tempo and rhythm as the backing track. It doesn't really matter what notes you play. Sorry, well, the notes in the scale, but what notes, it doesn't really matter. It's just a rundown of the scale. So what I'm doing is I'm sliding from the 7th to the 9th. So sliding up to the 9th, hitting the 7th, sliding up on the 9th on the G string. Then I'm playing the 9th fret on the D string, sliding down onto the 7th, playing the 5th, and I'm playing the 7th on the A string, then I'm playing the 5th fret, then I'm hammering back onto the 7th, then I'm going, so playing the 5th, 7th, and then onto the D string, and ending on the 7th fret on the A string. And then what I'm doing here is I'm playing the open E string, and I'm using the whammy bar to pressing down and then releasing it. So I'm starting up to the 7th, hit the A string, the 7th fret, then playing the D string, same fret, then playing the 9th on the A string, then we're given 2 strings higher now to the G string, and pull off from the 9th fret to the 7th, and end up on the D string on the 9th fret, and I'm playing the 7th fret, the G string, hammering onto the 9th fret with some vibrato. Then I am playing the 7th fret on the D string, and I'm rolling my finger up onto the G string. Now there's 2 ways you can do this. You can either bend or slide, which you want to make, which you want to sound the 11th fret. So, or pull off to the 9th. And then eventually you want to land on the 12th fret. So. With some vibrato as always there. And now I've been making my way down this part of the fretboard. I'm playing the same bit as I normally do down here. So be going. So after that, be going. So do that again. I've just improvised this bit myself. It's similar to do this properly, but just I did change some various notes there. So after playing this bit here, which I'm sure you know what to do by now. You quickly, and I mean quickly, move up here, slide your finger from the 12th to the 14th fret. Slide up, and then do a bend on the 15th fret on the B string. Don't hold that bend for too long, and slide up to the 17th fret. And then play the E string, 15th fret to the 17th. And then hold that bend for a second or so. And then you release it onto the B string, 17th fret. And then you play the 16th fret on the G string, and then you end on this, and then you end on the G notes. Because that's where you want to end on the G note. For example, like on the live version, it ends here, which is the same note. But I like to change things, change things and improvise. So I'm just going to end on the G note here. And you want to be very, very quickly and come back down here. This is probably the second hardest bit of the whole solo. And then you want to play this bit again. So play the first part of the bit that we normally play down here. And this part we want to do a series of so Okay, so what we're doing here is hold down the G and B strings on the 7th fret, and then play the D string on the 9th fret. So what you want to do is form that pattern with your fingers, holding down the 3 strings, the D, G and B strings, and you want to play the G and B strings. And then you want to play all 3 of them. So after you play the G and B string, so as you can see what I'm doing here. For the first 2 strums, I'm strumming the G and B strings, or 3 after the first 3 strums, and then I'm strumming all 3. So then you end there, and then you do it again. Got a continuation of 2 bars. So and then after the first set, or the first bar, you want to mute the strings, and then you want to continue the second time. So after the second time you do it, you don't want to mute the strings, you want to grab the whammy bar and use the whammy bar. And then you perform that again. So that's probably around, you got 1, 2, 3, 6 times. With 2 of those you want to continue with this, so with the whammy bar. So you go, that's 1, that's 3, 4, 6. So what I'm doing here is I'm bending it, as always, on the 15th fret on the B string, release it, and then end on the 12th fret, and then I'm bending on the G string, the 14th fret. I'm not releasing that bend, I'm silencing it with the plectrum and performing a second bend, releasing it onto the 12th fret. So and ending with some vibrato. Okay, that's the solo finish for you. Hey, what's up guys? Well, I hope you thoroughly enjoyed that guitar solo tutorial, and I was able to show you efficiently how to play this solo to the best of your ability. If you are still practicing for this, then practice each section thoroughly before moving on to the next. Backing tracks are available on the website. The guitar solo effects that I use on this are chorus, delay, reverb, distortion and gain, which are also available on the website for you to get hold of. These help you sound better, gives you more of a playing experience. But hey, keep practicing, keep having fun, and I shall see you at the next video.